What's up, everybody? This is MacBull18 with a Photoshop tutorial on creating a silver text effect. If you're a beginner out there, or if you're an advanced user, this is for you. I'm going to go slow enough and let you know what I'm going to walk you through step by step by step. Pretty much hold your hand so you can get through this and understand what I'm doing. So, let's get started. This is what we're going to create right here. You can see this. Add a little background to it just for aesthetic purposes. But let's go ahead and create a new document by coming up here to File and pressing New, or just pressing Command N or Control N if you're on Windows. I want you to make the width 758 pixels by 377 pixels. Now, yours might be set, your Photoshop custom settings might be set to inches. Just come over here and click on this and set it to pixels. Cool? Lovely. Make sure you keep the resolution 72 as well. Name it whatever the world you want. I don't really care. Background content's white. Color mode RGB. Blah, 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 blah. Press OK, please. Now, we're going to go ahead and have this. What I want you to do is select your gradient tool. When I select tools, I hardly ever use this toolbox over here. It is here mostly so I can select my colors. You need to learn the shortcuts for each of the tools. If you hover over a tool, you'll see it'll have the shortcut in parentheses. I want you to memorize that, okay? It will make your Photoshop workflow so much faster. So, anyway, select the gradient tool. Yours might look like a paint bucket. If it is, right-click on it and press gradient tool. Then I want you to come up here to your options bar, double-click, and this box will come up called the gradient editor. I want you to select a light color. Here's the color I selected. You might want to write that down, pause the video if you need to, and get that color down. Write that color down there. I'm sorry, this one right here in the box. It's called a hex color. Anyway, that's my light color, and my dark color is right here. I want you to change those. Okay, so the way that we get those is by double-clicking this little handlebar right here, the one on the bottom left and the bottom right. So just, oops, that was an accident. Just click it and double-click the color button, and it'll give you that. That's how that's done. I already have my gradient set, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I want you to find the middle of your box, click and drag a little bit outside of it. I want you to go up to the top left corner, click a little bit outside of it, and you get something like that. One minor thing I forgot to mention is when you're dragging out like this, you need to make sure that up here in your options bar, your gradient is set to radial gradient. That's the second icon right here to the left, and not to linear. By default, it's probably set to linear. Make sure it's set to radial. Cool? You can drag smaller and smaller or bigger to see exactly how you want this to work out. That's what I want mine to look like, so I'm going to leave mine like that. That's good enough for me. I'm getting way too picky. I'll leave it like that. Anyway, so moving right along, select your text tool by pressing T or by coming over here and clicking the type tool. And then you can drag out a box and type in whatever you want. I'm going to go ahead and type MacBull18 and drag that to the center however you want to. We are going to go ahead and start with our effects now. You can get to the layer style box button options place by double clicking over here on your layer, or you can come down here to the effects button and click whatever effect you want to add. I double click. I'm sure there's many other ways to do it. This is just the way that I choose to do it. I'm going to start off with a drop shadow. Now, guys, when you're designing things, if you don't hear anything I say, I want you to hear this. When you're designing things, you don't want to throw your effect in your user's face or your viewer's face. You want it to be subtle. You don't want your effect to scream at them and say, hey, look at me. I tossed a drop shadow behind my words. You want it to be subtle. You want them to feel it. You don't want them to have to kind of like chew on it. So anyways, I generally feel my way through this. I don't have any set numbers that I memorized to get a nice drop shadow. I'm not sure if anybody does, but I don't. So let me go ahead and figure out how I want this to look. Let me start you off from the top. Blend mode, we're going to change to, we can leave it at multiply. Opacity is fine at 75. Change global light, unclick to use global light, and change the angle to 90 degrees. Distance, I'm going to put it about 2. And size it about 6. Spread it about 1. I'm going to turn my opacity down a little bit to about 58. And I think that's good. Whoa, why am I zooming in so much? Yeah, that's fine with me. Opacity down a little bit to 51, and that'll do it. The rest of the settings can remain default. Now let's move on to gradient overlay. I want you, once you click on gradient overlay, don't check it off. I want you to click it. I want you to actually click the words gradient overlay. Okay. You can have, if it's checked off, it's supposed to be, but the idea was that you click on the words. Anyway, click on this little gradient bar, whatever color it may be, and I want you to click on the one to the top left. This little square to the top left should look black and white, or not, depending on your settings. And then I want you to click this bottom left handlebar and change the color. This little box right here, click on it, and you have the option to change it. Click and drag all the way to the left to get a gray color somewhere in here. Darker the gray, the more obvious the effect, but remember that we want it to be subtle, so make it something in there. I want you to feel your way through this. I don't necessarily want to give you the numbers. The one on the right can be white, that's fine. Then press OK, or press Enter. And then, oopsie doopsie doopsie. The idea is that your gray needs to be on the top and your white needs to be on the bottom. But before you do that, make sure style is linear. That's what we want. So, if your gray is up top and your white on the bottom, push reverse, vice versa. You just want the gray to be on the bottom. Scale it down a little bit and drag it down so it's kind of half and half here, or that's about good. So scale around 77, and you can click and drag on the screen to move the gradient up and down, as you can see. We want to put it somewhere in there. You see a little white on top. Press OK, and you can kind of see the effect coming together. We have a little bit more to do. I'm going to come over here and push Inner Shadow, and we're going to change this the color to white. And you do that by clicking this little box, change it to white. Blend mode normal. Again, turn off global light, angle 90, and you want to choke the whole way up, size the whole way down, and change distance to 1. And you're gonna be like, you might be thinking to yourself right now, what the world did I just do? If you zoom in a little bit on any of these letters, you'll see this little white highlight there. That's exactly what we wanted to do. It's very, very subtle, but necessary. It helps to accomplish the 3D effect. You can see that like it makes it seem like the light is shining down from up top. That's what we want to accomplish. And that is that. So now maybe you want it to be a little more dramatic. You can change this distance up to 1 or to 2, and you can see it more obviously. I'm gonna leave it at 1 because subtlety is key in my mind. So let's duplicate that. I'm sorry, I'm moving too fast. Duplicate by pressing Command J if you're on a Mac, or Control J if you're on a PC, or you can right click and push duplicate layer, or you can drag it down here to this white piece of paper, or I'm sure there's many other ways to do it. Quickest way, Command J. Duplicate that, drag it down a little bit, bang bang. Hold down Shift while you're dragging to keep it going straight and not moving left and right. So now you drag it down and then click your text tool again and select all, and then take your text size down. Let me do this and I'll explain what I'm doing once I am finished. I'm making it all caps. Down, changing the tracking or letter spacing. And I'm going to go ahead and change the words to Photoshop tutorial. Way down, letter spacing a little tighter. There we go. Drag it down there, and look at that. Isn't that cute? Oh, isn't that wonderful? So there we go. That's pretty much it. You can save this for later. Let me show you how to do that real quickly so you don't have to ever do this again. You can just save it and click a button and your effect will be applied. If you come over here, open up your layer styles box again and click on layer styles, and I want you to click on new style and name it whatever you want. You can name it like silver effect. Press OK, and then bang, you'll see this little square box down here. Once you're in your layer styles box, click on style, and you'll see the little square box over here to the bottom right, so that if we ever create a new some new text, like I type in here Rada. Let me make the text smaller so you can actually see it. Rada. Anybody ever watch Chowder? Hilarious show. So right now you can see that this is just white, and we want to apply our effect to it, right? So come over here to styles, click this button, one click, and we're done. How cool is that? So thank you guys for watching. I'm MacBull18. If you have some questions about this, comment, send me a message, email me, danielgolden90@gmail.com. Whatever you need to do, get me a question. I will do my best to answer it. Thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe if you enjoyed. I would really, really appreciate that. So anyways, see you guys. Thanks again for watching.